Women's Equality Day is celebrated every August 26th, commemorating the passage of women's suffrage in the United States. In the early 19th century, American women who generally couldn't inherit property and earned only half of a man's wages began organizing to demand political rights and representation.
It was women's involvement in the World War I effort that made their contributions painfully obvious, and women's suffrage finally gained substantial support. Today, we celebrate tremendous efforts by women and girls around the world in shaping a more equal future.
Not that long ago in the United States, that women were treated like second-class citizens and denied rights, and the rights of women were hard fought for. Women's Equality Day is important to commemorate because the movement towards equality is still a continually ongoing journey, not just for women, but for all marginalized groups in the United States. We commemorate this day by actively and collectively striving towards a more equal union for all people.
This day serves as a reminder not just of all the work that has been done, but of all the work that still must be done. Because when women make 82 cents for every dollar that a man makes, and when violence against women, especially trans women of color, is at an all-time high, there is still so much more to do, and this day helps keep that in all of our minds.
We need time to reflect on days like today because honestly the work is not done. Even those of us who feel like we are allies are not perfect. We need to sometimes change our assumptions, even our behaviors, learn more about the women who have made society a better place for all of us. And that's why I think today is important.
Women have been making remarkable achievements throughout history, and over the years, we've seen many examples of this. One example would be Katharine Graham. When she was president of the Washington Post, she led the paper through pivotal eras, including the publishing of the Pentagon Papers and the breaking of the Washington Watergate scandal. She became CEO in 1972 of the Washington Post Company, making her the first female CEO of a Fortune 500 company. But despite all the remarkable achievements that we can think of, what we see every day are remarkable women coming to work, our colleagues, in our families, our friends. And these women are increasingly becoming not only the primary caregivers of the family, they're also more and more the primary breadwinners. And for this reason, it is more and more important that women take a seat at the table, that they participate in the discussions that are happening in society, at our companies, to ensure that there is greater support for women in the workplace so that we can continue to come to work and continue to support our families, making better lives for our children.
So when Safa kindly asked me to be part of this video to talk about women in positions of leadership, it really got me thinking about my own career in HR and the fact that I've had the opportunity to work with some outstanding and inspirational female leaders over the last 20 years that I've been an HR professional. I think the HR industry is certainly viewed as something I think historically and traditionally that has been female dominated. And for me, that has been a fantastic opportunity to work with strong and talented female leaders across a number of industries that I've worked in. Starting off, I think the big one for me was my HR director at a further education college back in the northeast of England, a lady named Sue. She was one of the most inspirational women I've ever worked with in my life. She was a phenomenal HR professional. She was a fantastic person, and she was really just a huge developmental and guidance tool for me as I was finding my way in human resources. Eris, who I think as part of this video is going to talk a little bit about female leadership within KINA, but certainly within Kaplan overall and at Kaplan Inc. I have a great opportunity every day to work with people like Melissa Mack and Daniela Saladrigas, both at Inc., who are fantastic HR leaders and really provide me with inspiration every day in terms of how I should approach my role and really what I should be doing as an HR professional. On a broader scale, I think it goes without saying that Kaplan benefits every day from having strong, confident and capable women in positions of leadership. It's something which I think we do well as a company. We can always do better and we always should. But I'm delighted that we are celebrating Women's Equality Day today, and just a huge thank you to all of the women in every position in our business who make it a fantastic experience for our students and all of your colleagues every day. Thank you.
Of course, most of us know that most of the women in the world today have more opportunities than they have had in the past. However, we would be naive, and it would be naive of anyone to think that there still isn't a glass ceiling when it comes to positions of leadership for women. In fact, although women make up of half of North American population, 82% of them in the workforce, only 25% attain leadership positions. Having said this, the question I was given is why? Why should women be in positions of leadership? Here are some answers. Women leaders bring unique skills, different perspectives, and innovative ideas to the table, and these three combined help create new outlooks that lead to better decision making as a whole for the business. Women also have been proven to lead in a very transformational way while enhancing teamwork and business communication. Women are multitaskers, very capable of wearing many hats while leading successfully. Women in leadership roles can close gender pay gaps as well, which are long overdue. Women leaders as well can be great mentors. 29% of women in mid-management positions believe that gender will be an obstacle to advancement. To overcome this obstacle, women in leadership positions can mentor others and begin empowering the bright young minds of the next generation. On this last point, I remember very clearly each and every time I've worked with women who are in higher positions than me. Unfortunately, I can count these times on one hand. It means something to see that a woman like me can attain a higher position. For Kaplan North America, we are very fortunate, I believe, to have so many strong female leaders successfully running schools, the crux of our business, which is no small feat. Lane Gladstone, Lisa Halsworth, Jillian Nelson, and Caitlin Glatz are just some of Kina's female school directors, while we also have Wendy Henderson, Gladys, and Kasha in the Kina Senior Management Group. This gives me, and I'm sure many women who want to move up at Kaplan, hope that it's possible to move up in the career world as a senior leader. Having said all of this, when just looking at the bottom line of a business, did you know that high-performing businesses tend to have more women in leadership roles? 37% of leaders in higher-performing companies are women, compared to 19% of leaders in lower-ranked companies. For all of these reasons, I hope women will one day hold 50% of leadership positions, and next time you are in a meeting, I ask, look to see if gender diversity has a seat at the table.
I would like to tell you about three amazing women who have impacted my life. First, my mother, who is now 85 years old, who was still amazing and strong and was just such a great role model for me growing up. And then there's my wife, who is my best friend, and over 20 years of just trust and such a wonderful relationship that we have. I'm just so fortunate for that, which brings me to number three, an amazing young lady who has impacted my life greatly, my daughter. Just an amazing young woman who's absolutely everything good. And I'm such a fortunate person to have these three amazing women who have impacted my life.
In celebration of Women's Equality Day, I wanted to give a shout out to working moms like myself, career women, and full-time moms who aspire to be the best in both worlds. Finding that balance is challenging and yet rewarding in more ways than one. I was raised by a working mom. Growing up, I watched how she spent most of her day at work, and yet when she came home, she still had the energy to run our house. Because of her work, she was able to provide for us, but more importantly, she showed us that we can have a career and that we can pursue our dreams while being a mother. As we know, the last 18 months has been difficult for working moms, with the pandemic changing our personal and professional lives, mixing both as we changed or shifted to work from home setup. But the pandemic also highlighted what we've already known about women or about working moms, that we are resilient, we are strong, we are determined, we are empowered. Since the pandemic started, we saw moms juggling between our 9-to-5 jobs while guiding our children through remote learning. We saw ourselves joining Zoom meetings while attending to our children's needs, managing our workload while making sure the house isn't on fire, and running the business while raising the future generation. This and more are all in a day's work for working moms. So to all you working moms out there, much love and appreciation to all of you. Cheers to you, cheers to all of us.
Because women are successful,
Influential.
Inspiring.
Resourceful.
Passionate.
Because women are capable,
Intelligent.
Reliable.
Talented.
Powerful.
Because women are creative,